Good evening and thanks for joining us. It's an issue the Harper government no doubt hopes will disappear, but instead the Senate expense scandal expanded today. The RCMP is now digging into it, and questions about what the Prime Minister's office knew about the whole thing are intensifying, especially after the revelation today Stephen Harper's former Chief of Staff, Nigel Wright, was in contact with the Senate committee reviewing Senator Mike Duffy's expenses. There are lots of threads to this story. Our Jacques Bourbeau has been following them all.
This is what it's like to be a politician at the heart of a scandal. Senator Mike Duffy drives up the Parliament Hill looking for a parking spot, and in hot pursuit, the national media. But eventually, Duffy did stop the talk, saying he's confident he'll be exonerated.
Well, there are bits and pieces out there. It should all be put together in one place.
But Duffy is facing more than a political firestorm. There's also a police investigation. The Senate has turned over documents to the RCMP to help its investigation into Duffy and fellow Senators Mac Harb and Patrick Brazeau.
I'm pleased that they're doing this, and I think we should be cooperating fully with the authorities in anything that they request.
The opposition says a police investigation is needed because the Senate inquiry was a whitewash. This is the Senate committee's draft report into Mike Duffy's expenses, and it contains some harsh judgments. But behind closed doors, Conservative senators got out the eraser and removed much of the tough language from the final report that was made public. Sources tell Global News Conservative Senator Carolyn Stewart-Olsen, who was once Stephen Harper's press secretary, was behind many of the deletions.
Caroline Stewart-Olsen has been this Prime Minister's closest advisor for 10 years. She is as close as you can get. So who in the Prime Minister's office made the call to Olsen?
Senator Stewart-Olsen says there were discussions, but she didn't get any orders to change the report.
I have spoken with some people in PMO.
Did they ask you to change anything in the report?
No, the report is as we produced it. We changed it ourselves.
But the chair of the Senate committee that issued the report, David Tkachuk, denies any whitewash. In an interview with Global News, Senator Tkachuk admits he did speak to the Prime Minister's office about the Duffy investigation. We'd have general discussions. They were interested in the political consequences, says Tkachuk. But he insists the PMO didn't order the changes. We write the report, we decide what should stay and what should change.
It was whether or not there was any influence as a result of those discussions. If there wasn't, fine. But if there was, I think there's something wrong with that.
Absolutely nothing wrong. We were part of a political process.
There have been calls for Mike Duffy to resign, but today he made it clear he's definitely sticking around.
Do you have any plans to resign? Are you going to stay in the Senate?
Jacques Bourbeau, Global News, Ottawa.